Hey folks, we thought we'd show you another install that we're doing right now. This is an '08 Shelby GT500KR. This is the 40th anniversary edition Mustang. Just to show that it is a KR, there's the 40th anniversary badges and whatnot. What we're doing on this car is we're doing a full integrated K40 calibre radar system. I know there's a lot of discussion out there on the internet between the Escort and the K40. We do sell both. There's reasons why we chose the K40 for this vehicle. We'll go into that as we get into the interior of the vehicle. So what we're going to do is we'll walk you through here and show you our metal fabricating skills that we have for the mounting brackets and whatnot, and then we'll get into the interior and show you what we've done with the interior modules and the LEDs. So let's go ahead and go to the front of the car and show you what we've done up front so far. Okay, so we've got the front bumper of the vehicle sitting here. You'll notice obviously when we take any vehicle apart like this, we mask off any edges where the paint could get chipped or scratched. Fenders are covered with tape and plastic. You'll also see when we get into the interior, we have our own special seat covers and floor covers made for vehicles. Front bumper of the car, laser diffuser. Our head tech Brian custom built a pod for the K40EX laser diffuser here. Just simply to trim it out, make it look a little more like it's a factory piece on the vehicle. You'll notice too that we've got it slightly sucked back in, but we still have it pretty much parallel with the bumper. You don't want to get the diffusers too far back in there because then they're ineffective. You want to have them as far out as possible. Obviously we could have come out a little farther on this car if we didn't want to, just because it didn't look good. So we slightly brought it back in so it sits again parallel with the tip of the bumper. You'll also notice when we get up to the front of the car here in a second, we build quick release harnesses for all of this, so if this car needs to have the bumper pulled for service, they don't need to cut any wiring. All they simply need to do is unplug a Molex plug. Laser diffuser comes off with the bumper as one piece. So now what we'll do is we'll go to the front of the vehicle. Over here in the front of the vehicle, as you can see, everything's taken off. Radar sensor is mounted here. You'll notice that we've manufactured our own metal mounting brackets for it. Again, they all bolt into factory spots. We didn't drill any extra holes in the vehicle at all. That's actually bolted to the factory bolts that are holding the bumper, the metal bumper on. Here is the quick release harness for the laser diffuser. Again, so that way they can pull the bumper off easily and service the vehicle if they need to without having to cut any of our wiring. Everything is covered in what we call Chinese finger lock. I'm sure it has a technical term, but basically it's just a lace to make it look like it's a factory type deal. It's very similar to what you see on the factory hosing here as well. All connections are heat shrunk and soldered. We don't do any T-tabs or button connectors or anything like that on the vehicle. So let's now go to the rear and show you the rear sensor. Okay, now we're at the rear of the car. Very similar type deal as the front of the car. Again, all the fenders are masked off. Bumper is also masked off while it's off the car. Same thing, rear radar sensors mounted here. We've manufactured our own metal bracket that is the exact same thing. It goes in and bolts into two stock bolts for the rear bumper. Again, everything's covered in the lace. You'll also know when we come up into the car that the factory hole that we came into is actually siliconed up now, so there's no chance of water getting into the trunk of the car. This particular vehicle, we did not do a rear laser diffuser, mainly for the fact that in our territory, they very rarely shoot laser from the rear because we don't have a lot of overpasses. We're in a rural type area, so there's not a lot of freeway overpasses and stuff. This car more than likely will not leave this area very often at all. So again, there is no rear laser on here. There's just front and rear radar and then front laser jamming. Now we'll go into the inside of the vehicle, show you what we've done with the interior modules as well as what we've done with the LEDs. Okay, so now we'll bring into the interior of the vehicle. This is the main reason why we chose the K40 over the Escort, is the customer did not want to do anything as far as modifying the dash for the displays. And we don't just take the Escort displays and normally stick them on the dash. We're actually going to build them somewhere into the vehicle so they look like they're part of the vehicle. But again, this customer didn't want to do that. So what we did in this vehicle instead is, if you come inside, again, we've built our own metal bracket for the control module and for the speaker. And what we've done is we've taken the factory radio assembly out, and the control module and the speaker is mounted on a special metal bracket right up in here. Again, all of this bolts into a factory spot. So the only holes that we drilled in this whole car are for the LEDs, and even in those we made those look like a factory piece as well. The LEDs were backlit a little bit, and then the front of the hole was hit slightly with the drill bit, so it gives it a machined look, so it matches the interior of the vehicle. So now what we'll do is we'll turn the system on, show you how the LEDs are, and I'll shoot the car with our radar gun, showing how we test everything. So there's your LEDs. As you can see, they're really bright. You've got left one is for the front radar sensor, right one is for the rear radar sensor. Now we'll grab the radar gun.
Front K-band. Rear K-band.
So again, as you can see, with these types of vehicles, we don't like to do a lot of modifications. We try to use our metal brackets as much as possible because, again, we don't want to be drilling any extra holes in the car if we don't have to. So there is another example of an install done at SoundsFast. You can find us on the internet at soundsfast.net, or you can contact us for the YouTube videos. Thank you.